But that was outstanding. That was one of the best pitches I've seen in a long time.
Thank you
Really,
so much.
I hope you pursue this one. It's very good, very good.
Thank you.
After some tough deliberations, we have the judges back here to announce the winner of HEX 5.3 Block 1.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's episode, I'd like to share with you about a special course that I did early this year as part of my MBA. So Macquarie University has a virtual international program for the business students wherein the students can enroll in courses offered by other institutions, and then those courses can be credited as an elective towards your degree. So they sent a list of institutions from all over the world offering short courses that can be credited towards my degree. And after going through the list, I had two choices. One was a university in the Netherlands offering a course on digital transformation and software sustainability. And then the other course was offered by Hacker Exchange, which was a 2-week program about startup innovation. Now, I never saw myself as an entrepreneur. I was never the type to start my own business, but I thought there could be value in learning how a business actually starts from scratch. So I said I'd give the Hacker Exchange program a go. So I enrolled to the HEX Discovery Asia Pacific program. It's a 2-week program, as I said before. It was designed to help participants develop their business idea from the ground up. So we had exercises on how to do market research, on how to create your business model canvas, prototyping. We had workshops on user interface and user experience design, growth hacking, and more. Then at the end of the 2 weeks, each participant is to pitch his or her business idea to a panel of judges composed of actual movers and shakers in the startup industry. So it was a very good program that was teaching really practical stuff on how to develop a startup. The only problem was I had no solid business idea at the time. But as the days went on, we heard from actual founders of successful startups, and one thing that they always told us was that a good way to develop a startup was to think of a good problem that you want to solve. Then it got me thinking about a problem that I was really passionate about. As you all know, I have a sister who has Down syndrome. I was 8 years old when she was born, so as she was growing up, I saw how our family struggled to find the right school for her because we simply didn't have access to enough information that we needed to make an informed decision about the school that best fits her needs. Instead of talking about it, I will just share with you the actual video clip of my 3-minute pitch later on. But for now, I would like to tell you more about Hacker Exchange, and so I invited a very special guest to help me do that.
For today, we have the pleasure of welcoming Ms. Jeanette Cheah, founder and CEO of the Hacker Exchange. Thank you very much, Jeanette, for agreeing to do this. I really appreciate your time.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. So let's get on to it. The first question is, can you please take us through your journey of when Hacker Exchange started?
So when Hacker Exchange first started, I was actually still working at ANZ Bank. So I was working in the innovation and product team at the bank and sort of looking for all these different things that were happening around in technology and just trying to find, where I fit really in the marketplace. And I met my co-founder, his name was Bevis Cheng, and we met over just a cup of coffee and a mutual introduction. And he started telling me all about how he was passionate about Silicon Valley and bringing that energy to Australia. So we basically kept talking for quite a number of months. And during that time, we came up with some ideas about how we might be able to connect founders and innovators in Australia with innovation ecosystems around the world. So I took 3 months leave from my job at the bank and we flew to San Francisco in February 2017 for our very first program. And we only had 7 students on that particular group.
Wow, talk about humble beginnings then.
Very humble.
Yeah, but I like the fact that you left a big corporate job to pursue your passion.
Look, it was a bit of it was very much a risk, but it was a calculated risk. So I think, that's something I would tell anyone who's considering what to do with their job and whether they should take the risk, is really just to back yourself and to think about what is the absolute worst case scenario if it all fell apart, I knew I could probably get a basic job. Like, it might not be the same level, but I knew I'd be okay. I made sure I had enough savings to kind of cover that. But I actually still worked part-time at the bank for a number of months until I was comfortable enough to leave and really just stand on my own 2 feet with HEX.
But judging from where Hacker Exchange is now, all that journey was worth it, clearly. So can you tell us a bit about who the target audience is and what sets HEX apart from other programs that offer the same, other companies offering the same kind of program?
Yeah, so the reason I get out of bed in the morning is because I really am passionate about unleashing sort of this next generation of leadership. I know that we look around the world and there's lots of different problems that need solving, whether it's in inclusion or the environment or anything else. And I really just feel like, we're going to need founders and investors and professionals who are actually sort of trained up to think about innovation and empathy, which is why HEX exists. And I guess what makes us different is there's probably 3 main things. So number 1 is that our programs are aligned with academic credit. So it's not every innovation program out there where you can actually get a university credit alongside the learning that you do. Secondly, we have always been global from the very first day. So we don't just teach classroom stuff. It's really the content that comes through a HEX program is run by practitioners, people that are in the field, raising money, building tech, making differences, and also from around the world. So in any given HEX program, you'll find people from Taiwan, from Tel Aviv, from San Francisco, from Singapore, from Germany. Like, it's a whole mix. So we'll make sure that we get the best of the world in front of our students. And then finally, I think it's really just our energy and our fun. Like, it's a seriously fun program, and I'm actually really proud of the fact that we bring energy into the screen.
I can attest to that global aspect of Hacker Exchange. Like, from our program, from my personal experience, I really appreciate that we were able to speak with people like industry professionals from Hong Kong, from Singapore, from Australia, from India, from all around the world. And even the cohort itself, where we have classmates who were taking the class from China. We had a class from the US. So I guess it's one of the advantages as well of doing it purely online. So you get more of that global perspective.
That's right. But even, I think like for a participant like yourself, the fact that you actually have emerged from the program, having sat in the same room literally as professionals from around the world, and you've held your own and you've had a conversation with them, it actually takes away a lot of the scariness of going into work or building your own business. So that's really cool. Yeah.
So can you, like, from your personal point of view, can you share about 1 or 2 of your most memorable moments at Hacker Exchange that make you go, oh, I'm so glad I made this decision to pursue Hacker Exchange or to build up Hacker Exchange?
Really, the cooler thing is actually watching people achieve what they wanted to achieve. So yes, there's the fun wow stuff, but then it's talking to one of my students, Sarah, who came to San Francisco as an illustrator, doing watercolors and henna and graphic design, and emerging as somebody who's now a highly sought after creative technologist, building AR and VR solutions. She did something for the Australian Open with MasterCard. She does paid work for Adobe. She's worked at Google. So watching someone like that who had just started to tap into her power and innovation, like, that's cool. And seeing like founders who are going out and building things that are actually changing the world. One of our students, Win, he's a medical science student. He came with us to Singapore for a program. He came back to Melbourne, and he's now actually launching like medical tech solutions to support his community back in Indonesia. So just looking at sort of the connections and the impact that the alumni make, that's what really those are the wow moments for me.
Yeah, I think I actually met Sarah. I think she actually spoke in our cohort, and it's really a wonderful person. So I think maybe it's being part of the humble beginnings of someone, who is just at the start of exploring what the possibilities are, and then seeing them grow from there to become the person that they are. Yeah,
it's a total rush.
Yeah. All right. So what is one piece of practical advice that you would give to a young aspiring entrepreneur having gone through the journey yourself?
So there's a few pieces here, but I mean, my number 1 piece is to be action-orientated. I think what I mean by that is it's very easy to sit in a cafe with your friends or, on the phone to your friends talking about ideas that you have. It's very hard to actually put that into practice and make something happen. So if you can take very small practical steps to try to test something or, maybe just build a website, like sometimes you'll be surprised at how just one little step unlocks a whole bunch of other steps. I would also say make sure you find your community, because the entrepreneurship journey is long and lonely. And if you have friends who are going through it at the same time, people that you can call for a vent or call for advice, it makes all the difference. So those are some of the two things I'd say. And talk to your customers. Make sure you're not just in an echo chamber and talking to your mum. You need to make sure you're actually out there understanding whether the problem you're solving is a real one or one that you've just invented.
And I think actually that's one of the values of going into the program, because as a participant, you go through that entire process from ideation to actually having to execute your idea and pitch it. Like that's one of the things that I appreciated about the program. Like I myself don't see myself as an entrepreneur, like starting something from scratch. But because of the program, I was able to explore that journey from actually thinking of an idea and then going through the market research and creating a prototype. And I think it's just the rush or the hype of getting an idea and bringing it to life all by yourself. Of course.
Yeah, you did that, right? Like, and honestly, your pitch resonated so deeply with our judges, and the problem you were solving was so deeply personal, but yet also so broad reaching. So I think, you absolutely did a fantastic job on the program. And it wasn't just about the problem that you were solving. It was also it was really evident how much effort you'd put in from a thoughtfulness around the research that you were doing. You're not a technologist, right? That's not your deep expertise. So I think that's a really good myth to bust as well. You don't have to be a technologist or a coder to get into entrepreneurship and startups. And I didn't tell you this actually, but one of the judges messaged me later and he's like, I would hire that girl. Is she available? So anyway, we can talk about that later.
That's really nice to hear.
But yeah.
Of course, please invite those who may want to sign up for HEX, Jeanette, and where can they go and what should they do?
If anyone's interested, hacker.exchange is the URL, or follow us on any of the social medias. So we're on Insta, Facebook, Hacker Exchange, or follow me personally. I'm always open to connect with people on any of the platforms. My handle on a bunch of things is Jeanette_KC. And, we're really just looking for anyone who is curious and adaptable and, just sort of sees little things out in the world that they feel that they can change and improve. And you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have all the skills. But, we do need diverse brains out there to build the future. And so I would really invite anyone, even if you don't think you fit the mold of like a tech or a startup person, to really reach out and be part of the journey and just test yourself a little bit, see what you can bring. Thank you, Roxanne. We really appreciate, I really appreciate the time that you've taken to do this. And I'm so excited to see what else is on your channel as well. I'm sure you're very inspiring for lots of people following you out there.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jeanette.
All right, thanks.
A million thanks again to Jeanette for doing that. I was really thrilled when she responded to my email and said she'd be happy to do the interview. So thank you very much again for doing that. Now, our cohort was very diverse and was composed of young, bright individuals with different backgrounds. I was actually amazed at what 2 weeks can do, because there were a lot of great business ideas that came through. And to see the participants nailing their pitches was just awesome. I'd like to thank all of my classmates, of course, at HEX Cohort 5.3, and also all the HEX mentors, including Matt, Jack, and Jeanette, for helping me throughout the 2-week journey. Special shout out, of course, to Jordan and Danny for being great sounding boards throughout the program. If you'd like to explore and develop your entrepreneurial skills, please do get in touch with the amazing folks at the Hacker Exchange. It's a program that will teach you not only the basics of developing your own startup, but it also opens up a world of possibilities for you with the network that you will have and all the amazing people that you'll meet. So I've put all the links in the description box below. Just shoot them an email or call them up, or search them on social. I'm sure they will respond to you. Now, I promised I'll share with you my 3-minute pitch about my business idea. So here it is. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. And please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to learn more about my MBA journey here in Sydney. Bye.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Roxanne, and I'm here to speak to you about SpedSearch. This is Vic. When she first learned that her child, Rich, had Down syndrome, there were questions in her mind, such as how will I raise my daughter? What special care and education will she need? Will she be able to enjoy life to the fullest? One constant struggle for her, however, was finding the right school for Rich every time the family moved to a new city. She always tried to exhaust all available resources, but she never seemed to find the best fit. Vic is only one of the millions of parents in the Philippines who find it difficult to find a school providing special education or SPED. I surveyed 200 parents who said when finding a school, they usually search the internet, get recommendations from doctors and friends, or simply locate whatever is nearby. More than half of these parents said these existing methods do not meet their needs at all. So there lies an information gap between the parents and the SPED schools. Families just do not have access to enough information when they look for a school for their special children. This leads to misallocated money and resources, unsatisfied parents, and most importantly, unrealized potential for the children. SPED Search addresses this information gap by being the bridge that connects the families to a world of possibilities for their children. SPED Search is an online portal that speeds up parent search for providing a comprehensive list of schools with school profiles, photos, contact details, other resources, and peer reviews. My target market is middle to high income families in the Philippines, and with a monthly household income of $1,300 to $6,300 per month. The portal will be free for parents, and revenue will be collected through commissions from the schools for every successful referral from SPED Search. SPED tuition fees range from $1,400 to $4,300 per year, and we're looking at commissions of about 5 to 10% for every successful enrollment. This is a proven business model as seen in established agencies that act as an education broker for students who want to study abroad. There is no existing business operating as such locally in the Philippines. There are freely accessible lists on the internet, but none of them are updated or exhausted. And there is no avenue for peer review, which a staggering 73% of the survey respondents ranked as very important. Now, this is Rich today at 22 years old, enjoying life and doing all sorts of activities. And yes, that's me with her, because she's my younger sister, my most favorite person in the whole wide world. You see, I have seen firsthand how difficult it is for families like ours to find a school that best fits the needs of special children. We were lucky because we pulled through, but it doesn't have to be hard for every other family from now on. I am very passionate about this, but I need a business partner with strong entrepreneurial skills and technology as well to help me bring it to life. So I hope that you help me make it easy for families to look for a SPED school, and let's help these kids maximize their potential and be the best versions of themselves. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well done. Will you be my business partner? so wonderful. I love it. And beautiful photos as well. I'm sure we have some questions here from the judges. Pete.
Yeah, awesome presentation. Love the problem. 2 questions. One, have you spoken to the schools as far as to see whether they have the budget to be able to spend that sort of money? And the second one is, have you thought, if they have an upfront payment, how do you continually have to find new students to go in? So it's a one-off payment only. Have you thought about how to address both of those issues?
Thank you, Pete. I haven't had time to speak to a lot of schools, but I had time to speak to a couple. So their tuition fees range from 50,000 to 100,000 pesos per year per student. So they would have some availability to give out for commissions. For your second question, yes, selecting a school is a one-off thing, but not for all special children because their needs vary as they grow older. So not all schools offer those things all at once. So they will need to change schools during the course of their life, because we experienced that with my sister as well.
Okay. Any last minute, Kyle, over to you.
I know probably short of time, but that was outstanding. That was one of the best pitches I've seen in a long time.
Thank you so much.
I hope you pursue this one. It's very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, well done. Jeanette, did you want to add anything, or are we ready to go? Ready to go?
I was just going to say to everyone else, that's how you do it. Simple, clear. Nicely done, Roxanne.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well done. after some tough deliberations, we have the judges back here to announce the winner of HEX 5.3 Block 1.
Thanks. Well, first of all, thank you, Kyle and Pete, for your expertise and for your time this morning. Really, really appreciate it. And just everybody that presented to Kyle and Peter, I just want you to remember, you've just presented to people that genuinely are movers and shakers in the startup world. You know, Kyle's product's been #1 on Product Hunt recently. Peter's been coaching and supporting and investing in startups for many years now. So you've just held your own in that room, and you did that. And there's not many people in your peer group or your career group going forward that can say they did that. So please do give yourselves a pat on the back. And I'm really, really proud of each of you for the work you did today. Look, overall, fabulous pitches. Some of the most creative ideas we've heard are things that were serving everything from health to music to, you know, workplace scenarios and education, things that are very close to each of our hearts. Overall, we did choose a winner based on size of problem, based on storytelling, based on all the research that was evident in that pitch. And we're really proud to congratulate Roxanne from Sped Search on a fabulous pitch and as the winner of Block 1. So please all put your hands together for your colleague Roxanne. And Roxanne, if you wanted to join us on stage, you can say a word or two if you like. You don't have to.
Wow,
And,
I was literally like, oh. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Hacker Exchange team.